first memory I remember is catching my first muskrat when I was 7 years old. We were on the ice down in a little swamp outside of a little town I grew up in, Avis, and my dad had me down there, and I can literally still remember chopping the ice and pulling that first muskrat out. That was, and I talk about that a lot. That's actually in our bio for the company and myself. That's when I caught the fever.
Every year, predators cost landowners all across America. Gardens destroyed, deer feeders looted, trash scattered, coyotes taking vulnerable calves and fawns, raccoons, skunks, and opossums wiping out ground nesting bird populations. If you own land, raise livestock, hunt, or simply want peace around your property, trapping isn't just an option, it's protection.
We've showed you things before in the past. We started showing you how to handle your own problem critters and animals on your own property, whether you're a hunter, a farmer, a rancher, a homeowner. We're going to get more in depth on that today. We're going to show you the simplicity. If you've seen this before, you're going to enjoy this. This is brand new. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you stay and watch it if you have anything that you need trapping equipment for. We're going to show you the dog proof. We're going to show you the 550 for coyote. We're also going to show you the easy set snare that if you're a rancher or a farmer, this is going to help you control all of those predator problems on your own property. And with that, let's get started showing you how you can become the steward of your own land. We're going to put one on this side where the trail comes out, and we're going to put one right here on this side where the trail goes down in. And it's very simple to do this. This is the Duke Dog Proof. It's a fantastic piece of equipment for handling raccoons. It's got a center base swivel. It's got another swivel on the end. We're using our Talon stake. Very easy to set. Now they do have setters for these if your hands can't do it, but you just pulling back on the lever. You're getting the trigger down in. The trigger goes down in the notch, and that's set already. And we're gonna put that right here in the ground. And any coon coming out this way or coming down the road this way or this way is going to hit that. We're going to take our stake driver, we're going to put that in the little notch, and we're going to pound the stake down in the ground. And that's perfect. Get that in there, and then we'll just put that back down in the ground there. We're going to use our coon buster. You're just going to need about a tablespoon of that and get that down in the trap to about where the trigger is. And you can see that's down in there only about to above where the trigger is. And that's all you need on that. And then all we're going to do is take our magnet trailing scent, a little bit of that and a little bit that way. That's all we need to do. You can see how fast, quick, and simple it is to put these in the ground. And then we're just going to do the same as we walk over here to the other side. This trail comes right up out of that bottom. Those raccoons are going to go down in there. They're going to feed down along the water. They're going to work up around. They're just magnets for coon, and you can see this trail beat down. I mean, this is hard packed, just absolute hard packed where they went across there. And we're just gonna get this dog proof set. As I said, you're just pulling back on the lever, getting the trigger down in the notch. Once that's in the notch, it's set. We're gonna take our stake and our stake driver, put that in the ground there. Once we get that in the ground, we pull, that's in there good. Take our trap, put that right down in there, and take our coon buster again. Gonna fill that just to about the trigger. That's good. And then we're gonna take our magnet trailing scent for this one down in, and that's all she's needed. And that's as simple as it is to put these in the ground. You can't get much easier than that. We got great sign. That trail is coming up out of the bottom. I mean, you can see it goes way down in there, all the way to the bottom. And they've got this hard pan right where they come over and go down into work that pond. Here's that dam breast that we set later in the day yesterday, and we got a double. That's just a testament. I said that trail coming up out of this bottom here was beat down, and you could see how it goes right across the road, and we got ourselves two really nice raccoons here, and we'll get them taken care of. But just paying attention to the sign, paying attention to what the animals were doing, and that trail come right up over that road right at the halfway point out into this field, and pretty much exactly what we wanted. I fully expect, you know, I'm here 3 or 4 nights. This is the first night. We got a double. We may get a double tomorrow. We may not get anything. Who knows? But these are two really, really nice big raccoons, and it's exactly what we wanted to do. They want to see more turkeys. They want to keep them out of their barns, and we've started that process to hopefully get them taken care of. But find these trails. The animals are going to give you the sign. All we did, we put the coon buster and the magnet in there, and they just cannot walk by it without trying it. So nice double, and we'll get them taken care of, get them reset, and hopefully have a couple tomorrow.
Target the nest raiders directly. Raccoons, skunks, and opossums. These predators are the #1 cause of nest destruction for turkeys and other ground nesting birds. With this kit, you can reduce their numbers and protect the wildlife on your land. North American Trapper. Proven products, proven conservation.
You know, we're showing you how to catch these raccoons with the dog proof, and this is actually a consensus of our whole dog proof package. You're going to get 6 of the dog proofs. We've showed you, we're setting those. You're getting the stake driver, the stakes, cable extensions, trap tags. You're getting your swivels, a DVD, coon buster, magnet, hunter lure, gloves, more gloves, and when your traps get dirty, we're sending you some dye to actually clean them up. All in all, this is all you need. This will get you started out there. It'll help you start to become the steward of your own land, handling those raccoons for whatever reason that is, whether you're a homeowner, a farmer, a rancher, a hunter, keeping off your deer corn. It does not matter. We're showing you the system that's going to work, and this is what you're getting.
Raccoons are relentless, tearing into your feeders, raiding trash, and destroying turkey nests. This kit gives you all the dog-proof traps, bait, lure, and gear you need to put a stop to it. Plus, an instructional DVD to show you proven sets that work on your land.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
And I got my man, Alan Probst from North American Trapper. Been on his TV show. He's been on Cuz 411. I told you trapping's addictive. We're all hooked. I met Alan Probst. I was running all these trapping questions by him. And the reason I wanted to get into trapping was like conservation. I knew I had too many coons, nest predators, and all that. And it has worked. But what I realized when I got into that, it was way more than that for me. I'm on my way right now to go pick up 2 of my grandsons who run their own trap lines, and being able to spend time with them out here. No distractions. You don't have to sit still and you don't have to be quiet, and they took right to it. That's why I keep trapping.
do you think, Craigie?
That's pretty cool.
You having fun today?
I am.
I have a feeling you're gonna have a bunch of them out there in that other end too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pretty
much
awesome.
better in school.
I understand. I remember the feeling. The whole family would go. My uncles, my cousins. We'd have 3 different vehicles going an hour up the road to, Wellsboro, Arnott, up through the mountains, chasing beaver in the wintertime. Deer season was over. Fishing season was basically over unless you were ice fishing. So there wasn't a lot to do, but we were out there in the woods gaining a lot of different experiences through trapping and trapping processes.
Predators won't stop on their own. Raccoons will keep raiding. Coyotes will keep taking fawns and calves, turkeys and poults. Raccoons, opossums, and skunks will keep wiping out nests. Trapping is the only proactive solution that gives you immediate results. When you trap, you protect your land, your livestock, your game, and the future of your property. Trapping isn't just control, it's conservation.
Predators are going to work up these gulches. The wind is blowing from my back to my front. The wind's blowing that way, okay? So that's one thing in our favor, and we want to stay to where the wind's going to hit everywhere that I want it to. So any predator working up that little gulch or over working that high spot is going to be able to smell it. I actually like this right here too. You kind of can see you got a little tuft there, I got a little tuft there. So we're gonna put the walkthrough right here. And then I'm just gonna come in. I don't wanna disturb it too much. Just wanna get a few of them weeds out of there. And we're gonna bed our trap right in there, okay? Shave a little bit out for my levers right there. And over here, just where my levers are gonna go. So that's all you need to do. Take the trap and drive our stake in. Get that down in there. And we got that stake in. Set that stake, and then we'll set our trap. This is the Duke 550. Really good universal predator trap. And you're gonna hear this click. That's the night latch. Now that's set level, ready to go. Take a little bit of our wax sand. That's gonna be our base there, and then we're gonna put this trap right there and bed it down in right there, and that's already in there solid. And that's one of the nice things when you dig this bed out with that spade, it actually forms an area to where that trap is now stable. I like to do a punch hole here, a punch hole here, or a punch hole here. So I got 3 holes. It's almost like a triangle. So we're gonna put one of them holes right here. Get that down in, and then I'm gonna wall that out to where that creates an area for my scent to go down in now. And then I'm gonna put one right here. Wall that out. And then I'm gonna put one right here. And I'm gonna wall that out. Get the mountain man, and then we're gonna jam that, and that goes down in that hole. So we now have 3 different scents working around that, and this builds up, and then we're gonna sift that over. And that's good. Find the pan. That's where we want to be. That works. Find the pan again. And then we'll take a little bit more dirt. And pan's there. And we are good. And you can see how that now blends that set in completely. And that right there is as easy as it can be done. That's a walkthrough set. We got Mountain Man bait over here. We got our territory here and some Leggett's Coyote Fox Exciter there. And you know, anything that comes up this valley now, across this dam breast or across the field from the right, is going to smell this because the wind's blowing that way right there. And you can't get a much better set that, you know, is going to help you catch some critters out in the field.
Coyotes don't just threaten wildlife. They target fawns, calves, pets, and livestock. Our Coyote Predation Kit arms you with everything you need to successfully control coyotes on your property. The gear is proven. The methods work. Protect your investment. This kit gives you the tools and knowledge to take charge of predator management the right way.
Well, we've showed you how to put one of these Duke 550s in the ground. It's going to handle all of your predator issues, whether it be your coyotes, your fox, your bobcat, those bigger predator issues. You bed that trap properly as we showed you, you're going to be successful. This is our Coyote Predation Kit. You're getting 4 traps. You're getting the stakes. You're getting the DVD, the bait, the lure, hammer, trowel, sifter, the logwood dye to clean your traps, the gloves. It's just a full kit that has pretty much everything that you're going to need to be successful from day one. And as you can see, it's not hard to put these in the ground. If you got these animals on your property, you go out, you make the sets that we showed you with this equipment, and I can guarantee you, you're going to be successful.
Raccoons raiding feeders, coyotes taking fawns, everything wiping out turkey nests. If you own land, you need protection. North American Trapper gives you the proven gear and know-how to take control. Protect your land. Protect your game. Trapping is conservation. Visit NorthAmericanTrapper.com today.
In the essence of everything that we do, that's truly what it's about. It's about the customer. It's about providing them with a product that they can be successful with, and providing people that experience out in the field of trapping and being successful with it. And that's kind of our path and our vision forward as well. The true value of trapping in this day and age and this society with human expansion is the conservation aspect of it. Being able to help the animal control the populations. It's our job as man to be the steward of our own land, to be the steward of conservation. And you can just look at what has been created in society. We have ADC trappers now, animal damage control trappers, where homeowners are having more and more problems because they're expanding more and more into animal territories and populations, to where they need somebody to come out and catch the raccoon or the skunk or the possum, or, you know, the coyotes are getting in their chickens, or the foxes. And all of those things are part of today's society. So in the grand scheme of things, trapping is actually a much more needed tool when it comes to handling those problem animals, and also from a conservation aspect in the actual populations of the animals being controlled, so that Mother Nature doesn't bring in distemper, rabies, and things like that. So all in all, trapping is a very viable tool, if not one of the biggest attributes to a healthy animal population.
Every fawn, every turkey nest, they all matter. Predators are taking them every single night. With proven gear and instruction from North American Trapper, you can protect your land, your livestock, your wildlife. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit NorthAmericanTrapper.com today.
This is ready-made. You can see the trail that's leading from the field edge in through here into this 2-track into another field over here. You actually have coyote hair on the barb where they've climbed down under this and they've caught the fur from their back on here. There's a piece there. There's another piece over here. So this is exactly what we want to have when we're looking to put one of these easy set snares in. Now, there's nothing really for me to tie this off to other than this little tree here. That's not going to hold the animal once we catch them, so I'm going to have to do something else to hold the animal. Now, if this was a big fence post like this behind me, that would work. I could wrap that around. They're not going to pull that, but I don't trust that to hold the animal. So what we're going to do, we've got a 6-foot cable extension here, and I'm going to wrap that around the fence post right here. That's going to give us an extension that's going to connect to that, to where that's going to hold the animal when we get it. And I'm just taking that around, put that through the loop, and when I pull, that's going to hold tight. And now my snare is attached to where that animal can't run off. This was not going to be stable enough. That animal might start moving and pull that out of the ground, and we don't want that, so we've got that covered. Now, we want to get this, I got this little twig here, which we're going to use as a blocker from this edge. And I'm just going to put that in the ground right there. And that's going to act as a deterrent for them to go around it. And that's going to be a nice guide to guide them into my snare when I get it set. But once we get it set with a mini cam lock, all the way to the end, and then we're going to have that, and that's going to guard that hole. We're going to connect this wire around this tree, which is going to then be able to stabilize our unit where we want it. So we're going to take this, that's going to be about right there, and then we want to wrap that just around, and it doesn't have to come around much because that's not going to keep the animal here. We've got the animal covered there. Now, as I said, if this trail was over here, we could tie that off and that would stabilize it. But what that does is that gets us a stable place there, and then we can bend this wire to anywhere that we want for this snare to hang. The snare is now level with the fence. So when that animal, whether he's coming this way or this way, he's going to duck here, and he's going to duck and put his head right through that. That's exactly what you want. It's guided in on this side with the natural tree that's already there. I've taken a branch that I showed you. I'm just covering this side to keep them from going over there. The trail is already here because you can see the actual hair on the barbs, but that is as simple as it can be done. Anywhere you have fence rows like this leading from field edges to field edges with the little cut throughs, there are going to be various points here. Now, there's also deer in the area. You want to make sure that you're not setting those trails and things where there's a big hole. Deer are not coming under this. There's no deer tracks here. This is a small game coyote, raccoon trail that's going through. The deer are more often going to jump the fence when it's low like this. They're not going to duck down under these smaller areas. But pay attention to that because you don't want to catch a deer. But also, this really gives you an opportunity to cover a lot of property that you're going to have out there. There's going to be places like this where down the fence row, they're going to come through. It's no different than the other game trails that are out in the woods. They're going to have certain areas, and this narrows them down. The one good thing, this is lower. Deer are not using this. I can put this in here and not worry about catching a deer. Deer are going to jump over this, or more often than not, go through a bigger area. You find these areas where they're narrowed down. I mean, you don't get any better sign than the coyote hair on the barbs. That's what you're going to find. Put these in. You can see how easy it is. We've got the easy set wire wrapped around this little tree right here. We've got it connected to a cable extension, which we know when we catch one, he's going to be here. But ultimately, this is going to help you as a farmer, a rancher, a hunter, whether you're on a deer lease, your own property. This is going to allow you to start to be able to narrow down those areas. And this is one more method that you can use to keep those nest raiders and predators in check on your ground. It doesn't get any easier. The snare, it's easy set. It's all one piece. The mini cam connected on the easy set, wrapped around. We've got it tied off so the animal's here when we come, and it just doesn't get much easier than this. But that's one more method that you can use to start to become the steward of your own land.
Coyotes causing problems on your property? Our Easy Set Coyote is quick, reliable, and field proven. Just wrap to a post, set the loop, and walk away. It's really that easy. North American Trapper. Proven products, proven conservation.
Well, that's the third method we showed you, using the Easy Coyote snare. You get a dozen in our kit dealing with that. You're also going to get a DVD. You're going to get pliers, the Redmond snare tool that's going to help you in those situations where you need to drive these in the ground to use as a snare support, so you don't actually have to set these always around a fence or a fence row. You can find a trail, use this. You got the wire 9 gauge. It's going to work for all the different times you need to tie it off. Trap tags to keep you legal, and a pair of gloves to help you as well. But any one of the 3 different options we've showed you here, we've got you covered, whether it's the raccoons, skunks, possums, the DP, whether it's the bigger predators, fox, coyote, bobcat, that you can handle with the 550, and then the bigger predators and things with these snares right here. It's just, we've got you covered in every aspect that you need to be the steward of your own land, whether you're a homeowner, a farmer, a hunter, a rancher, it doesn't matter. We've got you covered, and it's truly as easy as we've showed you. You go out, you put them in the ground, and you're going to start to be successful as well. But I still, every time I roll up on a set, or I have a possum or a skunk or a raccoon or a fox or a coyote, bobcat, it does not matter. It takes me back to that like 10-year-old little boy that's just seeing that critter for the first time. And that's truly what trapping is. Trapping is about experiences, it's about memory, it's part of life, it's part of who we are, it's part of being a conservationist. I could sit here and pick different adverbs and adjectives to describe what it means to me, but in the grand scheme of things, it's that one-on-one with nature, and just being out there carries so much weight and the momentum for everything that we do.
Protect your land. Protect your game. Protect your investment. Go to NorthAmericanTrapper.com today and get started with the right trapping kit for your property. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for step-by-step instruction from the field.
Hi there, I'm Johnny Thorpe.
Johnny Thorpe was more than a trapper. He was a legend. His lure recipes were guarded, trusted, and proven in the field for generations. North American Trapper has brought them back to life, handcrafted, exactly the way Johnny made them. This isn't just lure, it's tradition. The Johnny Thorpe Collection, a legacy in every bottle. At NorthAmericanTrapper.com.